Hello and welcome to Doing Good in the Community with a Lot of Good. I'm your host, Yvette Walker. This show highlights nonprofits, ministries, and individuals doing good in the communities around us. Each show is brought to you by A Lot of Good, a 501c3 nonprofit based in Upland, California that works with others to provide goods and support to families dealing with a crisis. By working with partners in the community, outlying areas and hospitals across Southern California, A Lot of Good lives the words of its tagline. Together, we do a lot of good. Hello, thank you for joining us. I'm Yvette Walker, here doing a lot of good in the community with a lot of good. Today I'm so happy to introduce Stephanie with Children's Cancer Foundation. Stephanie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me today, Yvette. I'm so excited.
Thank you. It's such a beautiful day to be out here and talk about the beautiful work that you do with the Children's Cancer Foundation. Can you give us a little background about what it is that you do, what your mission is, the families that you serve, and just give us a feel for your work overall?
Definitely. So Childhood Cancer Foundation got its beginnings in 1981, and it was a group of parents that saw that there was a need to connect with other parents and families that were going through the same thing that they were. They were traveling the same road, and these were families that all had children diagnosed with cancer. And so in 1981, they banded together, formed Childhood Cancer Foundation. Back then it was known as Candlelighters. Our mission is to help provide families with support. So we provide emotional, social, educational, and emergency support to families who have a child from birth through 18 years old diagnosed with cancer. And our goal is to basically connect them with each other, let them know that, no, you're not alone in this fight. We are here to support you. All these families are here to connect with you and support you through your journey. Since 1981, our program has changed and expanded and kind of adapted to meet those needs. We have tons of events and programs for the family as a unit, so we don't only serve the patient, we serve the parents and the siblings through all of our events and our programs. And outside of, the medical need of that child, obviously they're fighting for their life. It's, cancer is a difficult road, and so we want them to know that outside of just that medical attention, we're there to provide that emotional and social support.
Can you again tell us about the various categories of services that you offer families and those that you support?
So we have a few main areas of support that we provide our focus into. Emotional and social support to the families. That kind of embraces our family events and activities throughout the year, different programs to connect them to each other and create that support system while they're kind of in their journey through cancer treatment and into recovery and remission. We also provide educational support, so we have lots of literature and material for them to kind of review, get familiar with everything that has to do with their cancer diagnosis or their journey through cancer treatment and recovery. And then we also do emergency financial assistance, and so we provide in many ways some assistance to kind of relieve that financial burden that they might see through their cancer journey. We do grocery distribution bi-weekly throughout the year. We also provide food and gas vouchers for the families. We help with bereavement assistance, so we step in and help with funeral expenses. We also provide temporary housing. So we have a home that we call the Dugout after one of our former patients, Doug York. And that's a 2-bedroom home in Loma Linda, right by the hospital, that's at a walking distance to provide that temporary housing for families while their patient is their child is either inpatient or outpatient. So it gives them the opportunity to have a place that they kind of like a second home while they're there. And that's just kind of in a nutshell what we provide for the families. There's a little bit of everything to kind of try and support them as best we can.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you became involved and what sparked that interest in being part of this effort?
It's very much a passion project for me. I actually participated in the program as a child, as a sibling of a patient. So my sister was diagnosed with cancer, lymphoma, in the mid-90s at age years old. She was treated at Loma Linda Children's Hospital, and at the time when we got her cancer diagnosis, they had only given her 3 months to live. So it was a difficult diagnosis, and for me, I was only 7 at the time. I didn't realize the magnitude of it, but I knew that something happened, and it was something bad. And my mom was away from the house a lot, to care for my sister and be with her at the hospital. And in that time, we were able to participate in events and programs through Childhood Cancer Foundation. And I remember coming to the events and making friends with the other siblings that were there. And luckily, gratefully, my sister now is a 25-year survivor, so she is doing great. She's thriving. And then in 2007, I had a brother that was then diagnosed with cancer. So we were hit twice in our family, and by then we had kind of moved on from the cancer world into a new normal because my sister was a survivor. We were still very passionate about the cancer community, but not as involved. And when my brother was diagnosed, that's when I kind of came back into participating with Childhood Cancer Foundation, came on staff at that point, and I've been there since. So it's very much a passion for me. It's, I've seen how my family was affected by cancer, and so I continue to be there for other families that are now starting that journey.
Right. So tell me a little bit about your favorite story.
So the first, and there's so many because we get to meet so many amazing kids and amazing families, but one of the many memories that kind of stand out for me is of this adorable little girl, Sadie, and she is just a ball of energy. She's sunshine in a room, but she was just the most beautiful 4-year-old, and through her cancer journey, we got to experience a lot of moments with her and her family. We stepped in to help with the grocery distributions and different things for the families to kind of help through their journey. But in one instance, when we were visiting the hospital on a weekly basis, we got to visit with her. And so we'd always come in with a little gift or, something to kind of brighten up their day. And the funny thing is, we come in with a gift to hopefully brighten their day, but she did totally the opposite. And she always brightened our days. And she always had either a dance or a costume or something to make us smile. And it was amazing. And it made those moments so special. And in one occasion, specifically, we brought in a little robot that would, follow along the track or, do different things. And her first thought was, imagine if this robot could help Mom with chores. She was always thinking of others and how she could help them. And so, it's moments like those that were very special.
And so moving forward, where do you see the organization, going from here?
So we're definitely, it's a new world, it's a new season that we're, working through. But our plan is to continue to expand the program and, continue to meet the needs that our families have. And right now, our organization is open to all families throughout Southern California, but we're very much IE based. And so we want to continue to expand our reach and hopefully continue to provide, the services that we have here in a more, visible way in LA or, outlying areas, because those families definitely need that support as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so can you tell us a little bit about the hospitals that you're working with now?
So we primarily work with Loma Linda Children's Hospital and then Kaiser Fontana. So they both have oncology units and their families participate in our program. But we also have families from all the outlying areas, as far as Miller's in Long Beach, but also CHLA, Chalk, and they all participate in events. They'll commute through all the way to us to participate in events when we have them, and also, receive some assistance.
So can you talk a little bit about how you came to know A Lot of Good and how your relationship or how your partnership works?
A Lot of Good has stepped in to help with shopping vouchers or clothing, different things like that. But we've definitely expanded on that most recently through our office administrator, Angelica. So she's definitely taking that on as a project for herself to meet that additional need for families in a way that maybe we can't, but A Lot of Good has stepped in to help.
Stephanie, can you share with us how people can help and support your efforts? Can you give us information on how to get in touch with you, and what roles exist for people that say, hey, I want to step in and kind of help too.
So we're a small organization. There's actually only myself and one other person on staff. And currently we serve over 800 families. So you can imagine there's a lot of work to do. And we're hugely grateful to have an amazing volunteer base, and we're always looking for volunteers to donate their time, whether it be planning or helping with some administrative work, things like that. So volunteering, donating your time is always a great way to show your support of the organization and our mission to help our families. Donations, financial donations are always amazing too. It helps us continue to do the work that we do. And in-kind donations, we're always looking for donations of goods or services to the families, whether it be donation of groceries that we can distribute to the families, or even diapers or blankets or socks. So things like that are always amazing and hugely supportive for us. We do have a website, ccfsocal.org. Everyone's definitely welcome to check us out there. We have volunteer information on there, donation opportunities on there as well, and social media, Instagram. You can definitely keep up to date with all the things that we're doing on Instagram and Facebook.
So all we have to do is go to ccfsocal.org to learn about volunteer opportunities and ways to contribute to the Children's Cancer Foundation. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Of course, thank you so much.
Thank you again for joining us. I'm Yvette Walker, doing a lot of good in the community with a lot of good. Stay tuned for future updates with other partners that are doing wonderful things throughout our community.